With the current rate at which games are being made, from indie devs to AAA studios, the competition is stiff and games need something special or to get something really right to make their game amazing. Hi, I'm StevieBlu. Welcome back to a video that literally no one is going to watch. Today we're looking at 10 games that have one feature that make the game great, whether it be nothing without it or just take the game from good to something much more. These are 10 times the devs got it right, in no particular order. Number 10. Jet Set Radio Music. The music in the Jet Set series is undoubtedly one of the most unique sets of tracks featured in any series. Unique, not famous. I'm not saying these are more known than the soundtracks to games like Zelda and Mario, but they are instantly recognisable and unlike no other. Legendary. If it weren't for this sonic seduction, who knows, maybe JSR would have been much less memorable. Number 9. Shadows of Mordor Nemesis System. So the Nemesis System is so good that they actually have it patented. In essence, what it does is, the enemies in the game have their own organic ranking system, meaning that if a random ogre kills you, you can watch him climb up the ranks to something more. Cool, right? Not only that, if you see him again, he'll not only reference killing you, but how he did it. Units also have relatives amongst the ranks that they fight for, and it's like a whole dynamic world that's happening in tandem with you. It's actually a massive shame that this is patented really, because it objectively harms gaming as a whole, because this would be badass in other titles. Oh well, guess we should be grateful we have it at all really.
We'll gloat in a future encounter.
Is this some kind of joke? I killed you already!
Number 8. Darkest Dungeon Permadeath of Characters. So, in Darkest Dungeon, when one of your party member dies, they die. Gone. Forever. And it takes a huge toll on your team. While seemingly obvious, had this game not had such a punishing inclusion, then it would make everything else far less impactful. It would remove so much of the tension and atmosphere that the game is famous for having. If the members came back, or you could pay to have them revived, or even if you kept their gear, it wouldn't be the same experience and it wouldn't be as beloved.
Now, like me, you are a part of this place.
Number 7. Diablo 3 Greater Rifts. Diablo 3 is a great game. The campaign is fun the first time through, the combat loop is satisfying, there is adventure mode, time dungeons, set dungeons. It could be a lot of fun to play if you like ARPGs, but its magnum opus is the Greater Rifts. You do normal rifts to unlock keys for Greater Rifts, and they are timed instances that give amazing loot if you can beat the timer. The speed aspect just works and it gives the game a speedrunning vibe, which I love. Number 6. Dauntless Breaking Parts. Dauntless is a free-to-play co-op action RPG that is available on all platforms. It's a great boss killing game similar to games like Monster Hunter, where you roam around different areas and kill behemoths to craft better gear. The great part? When you attack certain parts of the bosses, you break parts off them and it actually changes which moves they can use during the fights. On top of that, you use these parts to craft your gear and these specific parts for specific gear. So cool. Number 5. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic Alignment. The original Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic was an RPG game with combat based around D&D. There was heavy emphasis on choices, and here is where it all gets great. Your actions and reactions have consequences, and those will give you either light or dark side points. As a result, your character will develop an alignment with the dark side or the light side, and in turn their appearance will drastically change. As well as this, the certain freedoms and limitations within the games change, such as your party members or access to certain areas. The game is good without this, but with it, it's great. Let's hope they do it justice in the long overdue remake. Number 4. Dark Souls Souls Dropped on Death. The Dark Souls series is so infamously brutal that other games are often referred to as the Souls-like version of their respective field. As tediously overused as this is, it really should be seen as a compliment to the impact these games have had on gaming. A choice that was made was to have you drop your souls on death with one shot of retrieving them before they're gone forever. Had the souls been lost on death permanently, From Software would have most likely had to curve the difficulty down to account for this, which would completely diminish what makes the series so great.
You'd have done better to rot in the undead asylum. Too late now.
Number 3. Thronebreaker Gwenta's Combat. In Thronebreaker, you'll traverse vast lands where each location will have its own distinct theme, telling its own drama-rich segment of the overarching story. The style of the game is great, and it's a very immersive experience if you hadn't had the joy of playing it. What makes this game amazing is that the battles take place by having you play the then modernised version of the Witcher's breakout card collecting game Gwent. At the time, it was revolutionary, so much so that they actually scrapped the standalone Gwent that they'd been running in favour for this Thronebreaker version. They could easily have left this out the game and had it be a choice-based game like the Telltale series, but this took it to another level for sure.
Head on, or employ underhanded tactics and ambushes. You're in the world of The Witcher, so your choices will have meaningful consequences affecting your army's morale.
Number 2, Bastion, narrating the game. 2011's Bastion is an action role-playing game that redefines storytelling. How does it do this? The narrator, of course. Logan Cunningham does an unbelievable job at bringing the game to life, and anyone who has seen or played this for themselves will tell you. While this would have been impressive on its own, Bastion has the narration be reactive to what you do, almost like a running commentary. It really is amazing to hear your gameplay called out to you and never gets old.
Or even that shrine, in case the gods ain't dead. The Calamity gave us something else. A story.
Bastion is a classic. Pick it up if you haven't. And number 1, Division, Dark Zone. Tom Clancy's The Division was a game that came out backed with a ton of hype. It's an online-only looter shooter where you roam the streets of New York, fending for yourself and gearing up to fight back against people banding together for domination. As solid as the solo content is, it is in the Dark Zone where the game really takes off. The Dark Zone is a PvPvE zone where anything you loot needs to be extracted. Of course, it's not that simple. When you try, it alerts every human player nearby that someone is trying to leave with some loot. Oh, and if you die, you drop all your things that you gained on the floor for someone else to hijack. The Dark Zone is the Division at its best, and really the only way to experience the series.
There cannot be any hope for tomorrow if we don't fight for today.
There you have it. 10 games made great by one feature. I think it's important to acknowledge the parts that are making some of your favourite games so memorable. Thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you next time.